about how Willie Mays was a five-play player. People focus on his fielding, his hitting, his speed, but you know, they forget about his arm. He actually started out as a shortstop, but threw so hard it hurt to catch his throws over at first base, so he got moved to the outfield.
Base is empty, one away. We're here in the bottom of the fourth.
Are you Willie Mays? Yes. Whose ball was that?
Why was it?
On a line, base hit.
I told you that.
Now he turns and heads for second. The relay throw, and he can't get back to
first. What's your name?
Say who?
Say Willie, say hey.
Say who?
Swinging at the plate, say hey.
Say who?
Say Willie, that giant kid is great. When he hits the ball, it's long gone, man.
You brought up Willie's baseball education, Chris, and it really stuck. His instincts were tremendous. One of his managers let Willie direct all the other fielders. A reporter asked why, and the manager said, because he knows more than I do. Line drive, that's a base hit. Throw in holds the lead runner at second. 2 on now, with 2 away.
Like a choo-choo train, swings around second like an aeroplane. His cap flies off when it passes third, and he heads home like an eagle bird. Say hey,
Say who?
say Willie.
Even as a high schooler, you could tell Willie was special. He scouted this morning for the Giants and playing center field practically barefooted. He's the best player I've ever looked at. You better send somebody down there with a barrel full of money and grab this kid.
Ground ball to the right side, west to second, over to first, safe. Not every scout got the right read on Willie, Chris. Roy Campanella, the great Dodgers catcher, played a barnstorming game with him and begged the Dodgers to sign him. But their scout didn't like him because he had trouble hitting ground balls.
Yeah, I think Willie figured out the curve just fine in the end.
Dives and he can't hang on. Not in time. Great effort, but it's an infield hit. Chris, you mentioned how revered Willie was even during his playing days. When the Giants traded him to the Mets in 1972, they retired his number 24 just a few days later. Willie played another whole season after that. There's a swing and a drop. That one carried. Out of here.
That giant kid is great. Say Willie, what you gonna say?
Willie Mays up now with an opportunity to walk this one off for Birmingham.
Yeah! 0-1.
This guy's got good power. With one swing, he can win it for him. Mays hit, that'll do it. Ball game. Mays brings home the winning run, and the
Well, don't you know that's the sound of the men working on the chain. Yeah.
Willie Mays steps in for the first time in this one.
That's the sound of the men working on the chain. Gang, all day long they're saying,
Here's a high fly ball out to center. Flying after this one. Can't get there, and now maybe extra bases.
don't you know that's the sound of the men working on the chain. Gang, that's the sound of the men working on the chain. Gang, all day
Hard grounder into the outfield for a knock.
Till the sun is
So they get a man aboard with a one-out single.
Working on the highways and byways and wearing a frown. You hear them moaning their lives away. Then you hear somebody say, that's the sound of
There's
the
a
men
long drive
working on the chain.
Center field, Mays racing for it.
That's the sound of the men working on the chain. Gang.
Here's Here's a fun nugget on Willie Mays. In 1954, he played winter ball with the Santurce Crabbers in Puerto Rico. One of his outfield teammates was a young Roberto Clemente.
Not a lot of singles getting stretched into doubles against them.
They get it in quickly, so first and second now, one out.
Working on the chain gang. That's the sound of the men working on the chain gang. All day long they're saying, my.
First pitch misses.
Hard to imagine Willie not thinking he could succeed at the major league level, but when the Giants called him up, he didn't want to go. He didn't think he could hit big league pitching, but he was hitting .477 in AAA at the time.
Get your hand off my penis!